You know, I've been thinking about one of the most daring naval operations of the Civil War.
Oh, you mean the capture of New Orleans in 1862?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't it incredible how the Union managed to seize the largest city in the Confederacy?
It was a major turning point.
Mm-hmm.
Controlling the Mississippi River was crucial for the Union strategy.
Absolutely. By taking New Orleans, they could cut off vital supply lines and cripple the Southern war effort.
Right.
The city was such a vital hub for trade and shipbuilding.
And the Confederacy knew that too. They heavily fortified the area with Fort Jackson and Fort St. Philip along the river.
Exactly. Those forts were supposed to be impregnable, but then came Flag Officer David G. Farragut with his powerful fleet.
He had quite the assortment of ships, didn't he?
Yep.
Wooden warships, ironclads, and those mortar boats designed for bombardment.
Yeah, and supporting him was Major General Benjamin Butler's land forces, ready to occupy the city once the Navy cleared the way. It was a well-coordinated plan.
So, on April 18th, 1862, the assault began?
That's right. Union mortar boats started pounding Fort Jackson and Fort St. Philip day and night. But after days of bombardment, the forts were still holding strong.
Farragut must have realized that he needed a new strategy.
Exactly. So he decided on a daring move, to run his fleet past the forts under the cover of darkness. It was a huge risk, but potentially a game changer.
Talk about courage.
Yeah.
In the early hours of April 24th, they made their move, didn't they?
Yes, the fleet advanced in 3 divisions. As they approached, Confederate cannons lit up the night, and it was absolute chaos.
And let's not forget the fire rafts.
Oh, right. The Confederates sent burning rafts downriver to set the Union ships ablaze.
Right.
But Farragut's sailors managed to navigate around them.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
By dawn, most of the Union fleet had made it past the forts, despite some heavy damage.
Exactly. And the Confederate naval forces were quickly overwhelmed.
The
path to New Orleans was wide open.
General Mansfield Lovell must have been in a tough spot back in the city.
Absolutely. With no defenses left to protect New Orleans, he ordered an evacuation.
Right.
Confederate troops burned supplies and ships to prevent them from falling into Union hands.
The city must have been in total chaos.
It was. Civilians watched helplessly as their city crumbled around them. On April 25th, Farragut's fleet arrived and demanded the city's surrender.
Mayor John T. Monroe initially refused, didn't he?
He did, but with Union warships threatening, there wasn't much choice.
Exactly.
Union troops under General Butler occupied the city on May 1st.
And the Confederate flag was lowered, replaced by the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, it was a significant moment. The capture of New Orleans was a major blow to the Confederacy.
Losing their largest city must have been devastating economically and psychologically.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Plus, the Union now controlled the lower Mississippi River, setting the stage for the siege of Vicksburg.
Splitting the Confederacy in two was a key strategic goal for the Union.
Exactly. The victory boosted Northern morale and showcased the effectiveness of combined naval and land operations. It demonstrated bold military strategy.
But do you think the Confederacy could have done more to defend the city?
Well, perhaps, but they were stretched thin.
I guess.
The Union's naval power was overwhelming.
True, but maybe if they had reinforced the forts or prepared better.
It's possible, but hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah.
The reality was the Union was determined to take the city.
It's fascinating how this operation shifted the momentum of the war.
It really is. The capture of New Orleans remains a significant chapter in Civil War history.
It's a perfect example of how naval power can influence a conflict.
Absolutely. It's like controlling the main artery of a body. If you cut it off, the rest suffers.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
The Mississippi River was the lifeblood of the Confederacy.
Exactly. And the Union knew that controlling it would strangle the Southern war effort. It shows the importance of strategic planning.
And the resilience of both sides during the conflict.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's stories like these that make history so captivating.
Agreed. Diving into these events really brings the past to life.
For sure. I'm glad we got to chat about this fascinating piece of history.
Me too. It's been enlightening.
Absolutely. Until our next history deep dive.
Looking forward to it.